So one of the things we do at the shop is change tyres for people, and it's not actually that big a job. It's something that with only a few basic tools most of us can do at home, and you know, we're stuck with this in this isolation at the moment, so I'll show you how we do it. So the first thing you're going to have to do is remove the valve to get all the air out. Now that the tyre's nice and flat, I have to break the bead. Now the easiest way to do this is with a bead breaker. This is one I've had for years, but we sell a nice neat little one made by Jitsi, which is relatively cheap and makes things a hell of a lot easier. So let's go ahead. Simple as that, hardly any effort at all. Now just to do the other side. So there you go, the tyre bead's broken on both sides. So now the tyre's off the bead, we're going to have to get that tyre off of the rim. Now this is quite an old wheel we've got here, so there's plenty of marks and scratches, so I'm only going to use tyre levers, but you can get these, which are rim protectors, which you slot in and you can use to help prevent marking the rim if you've got some nice clean new looking rims, which we normally use on customers' bikes, but this bike's pretty well used, I'm not going to bother. All you need is a couple of tyre levers. Now the bigger they are, the easier it will be because you get more leverage on it, but these are just two small ones that I normally carry in my tool bag around Scotland and such, so these will do for today. What you need to do, tuck that under the tyre bead, fold it over, so you get your next one. The trick is not to go too far. There, just pop it out, move the rim around, find it where it's easy again, push over, leaving that tyre lever in place. That's stopping the tyre from folding back in under the rim, so we leave that one in place there. We just keep working our way around. There we go, tyre is off on one side of the rim. There you go, tyre's off the rim. What we'll do now is give this a quick clean up, get all of the muck and crud off of the rim, just so we can inspect it, make sure there's no more damage at all, and then it'll be time to fit the new one. Now it's time to fit the tyre. Now this whole thing would be made a lot easier if you use some tyre soap. Don't be stingy with this, use as much as you want. Like I say, it'll make it a lot easier in the long run, and you're less likely to damage the tyre or the rim by doing this. Now you want to put the tyre soap on the inside of the bead all the way around, so that helps slide the tyre over the rim. You also want to put it on the outside of the bead as well, because that's going to help pop the tyre up onto the bead. Now you want to put in the disc side of the rim in first, and I'll tell you why later. You need to push the rim into the middle of the tyre, then get your tyre lever. You're going to have to push over the tyre into the middle of the rim. Now that's done, you can put it down on the sprocket side onto the ground, because you're going to have to put a little bit of pressure down onto the floor, so it's better to do it sprocket side rather than disc side, because the sprocket's a lot stronger. You're going to have to start using your tyre lever, work your way around, getting that tyre over onto the inside of the rim, just kind of moving along about 6 inches every time. Next up, you need to get some more tyre soap. Now you need to, again, don't be stingy with it, use as much as you want, the more the better, it'll make things a lot easier in the long run. Then you need to get your tyre mousse, and this thing is going to help in creating a seal between the tyre and the rim. You can use tyre soap again, or some water and fairy liquid, just to get it nice and lubed up. Now you need to push this mousse between the rim and the tyre, which is going to create a seal. It is quite tight, but once it's in, we'll make a nice tight seal. Once it's in place, get your pump. Now I normally use a compressor, but I know some of you won't have one, so we thought we'd try and do it with a hand pump, just to show you it can be done. And start pumping. As the tyre fills with air, you'll see that the mousse starts to peel out. Now it's important not to pull on the mousse, you just need to leave it alone. As long as you've lubricated it well enough, there should be no need to pull that mousse out, it will do it all on its own. Once it does pop out, that means that side is fully sealed to that side of the rim. You do need to check the other side of the rim to make sure that the bead is set on both sides. As you can see on here, it's not come up on one part. Did try, but it didn't want to come up, so I just put a bit more tyre lube on that particular spot. And it just helped the tyre pop onto the rim. Then you need to detach your pump and get the valve cord back into the valve. We personally like to then pump the tyre back up to around 10-15 psi to leave it overnight or so, just to let it really set onto the rim, let it keep its shape and form. And we're all done. We're just going to go and wash off that excess soap. Also we can check then if there's any bubbles or anything from the water to see if there's any leaks at all, but yeah, all should be good. Good job.